Hey guys, it's Country Girl. Today on the menu is my grandfather's, my farfar, his Hungarian style goulash. There are a million recipes for goulash out there, guys. I mean, seriously, I've seen so many. But this is how my grandfather did it, with a little bit of tweaks, a little bit that I've changed. But my farfar, Swedish, the word father is far. So my father's father is farfar, and his mother is farmar. So that's what you hear me. So we're going to do a quick ingredient list real quick, and we'll get this started, all right? Y'all ready? You're going to need an onion. We're going to chop that up. This is, I know my bottle says it is Spanish style, but I'm reusing an Old Spice bottle. I just need to label it. This is Hungarian paprika. It's a little bit bolder, a little bit spicier. Not too bad. It's still pretty good. Alpepo peppers, which are kind of mild. They're not real strong at all. It just gives it kind of a zip that I really love. This is called Forward, and I'm going to put this, hopefully you guys can see it. It's called Forward. It is from Penzeys, where I told you guys that I buy most of my spices from, and I will, remember this time, you guys, I will put a link in the description for you. They run specials all the time. They run shipping specials. If you're not in local, they run free stuff that you can still get even shipping. It's really cool. But Forward, it's, let me read it to you. Extra bold black pepper, onions, paprika, garlic, turmeric, extracts of celery, rosemary, thyme, basil, and an extra paprika. No, it's not real heavy on the paprika, which is why I'm adding more of the traditional Hungarian style. This one has more of a typical non-smoked paprika, but I want the smoked taste. So that's what's in here. It's called Forward, and it is one of the best allspices that I've ever used. I love this stuff. I usually buy it by the big jar. I have Worcestershire sauce, minced garlic. I'm going to use half and half, so it's a half pound of ground beef and a half pound of sausage. If you're making a bigger batch to feed a big family, obviously use 1 and 1. You can use it all. Okay? Let me get my hair out of my way, guys, before I get it anywhere near your food. Hold on 1 second for me. Okay, and then we have, I'm going to be using 3 small cans of tomato sauce and 1 can of whole kernel corn drained. It has been drained. I've taken all the juice out of it. Okay, so I've already got my water boiling, set to boil for the pasta. We're going to use some elbow macaroni noodles. I don't have them out here, but I'll go grab them here in a second. And I wanted to show y'all this. Let me show you real quick. I absolutely love this little topper on my pan. I don't know if y'all can see this. When it starts boiling and you put the pasta in there, it keeps your pot from boiling over. And you will see it, because I'm going to go get the pasta right now and put it in there. It is the coolest. Whoops, hold on, y'all. It's the coolest gadget. It's one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. Hold on that thought. Sorry, guys, I was unprepared. Imagine that. How many of y'all have ever been cooking and realized you forgot something? I am using just plain old elbow macaroni noodles, but these ones have ridges, and I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up, but they have ridges. Can you guys see that? I love pasta with ridges because it really helps to hold the sauce. So I'm going to come over here and let me get this pasta in real quick for y'all. This is very hot. You guys can see the steam, so please be careful. Don't burn yourself. Okay? I'm going to get my pasta in there. Don't burn yourself like I did, okay? Do yourself a favor. This water is salted, by the way. I never put oil in my pasta water ever. You will never see me do that. I know some people do because they don't want the pasta to stick. But if you treat the pasta right, it won't stick anyway. And you want a little stick, because that's where your sauce is. Topper goes back on. As this starts to come up and starts to boil, I will keep an eye on it. I'll show you what it looks like when it's boiling and how it prevents boilovers. You'll never... I've been doing it with this for about 3 years, and I've never had a boilover. So, All right, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me get my cutting board cleared off and get me some onions chopped, and we'll put this baby together, all right? I'll be back. Okay, my board is cleared off, and I got a couple of comments. People asked me about knife skills and how I do onions, and you know, you watch professional chefs, they go crazy with it. This is how I do mine, and I think it's pretty simple. I cut the top, the bottom off, right down the middle, peel the outside layer. Okay, real quick. This is what I was telling you about. Can you see it? It will not boil over. It holds it right there in that little pot. And you have time to turn it down some if you need to. It'll hold it right there. I am going to turn it down because I don't want my pasta to cook that fast. But it lets me know that it's boiling. Sorry, I had to show you all that. So let's go back over here. Pick up where we left off. Anyway, so I cut it in half. I peel the outside layer. And the way I do mine is I cut them on the long side to the thickness that I want them. And in this case, I want them to really almost dissolve. I don't want big chunks of onion in this. And I'm probably only going to need about half of this, but we'll see. Let me get it all cut. Anyway, once I get it cut, I take off the ends because they're not flat. I lay the onion on its side like this. Can you guys see that? And I just start at one corner. You get a perfectly even straight dice every time. I just go around the circle. You get toward the end, it may fall. Just watch your fingers. That's the biggest thing. If you notice my fingers are curled against the knife, can you guys see that? Let me see if I can knock this off here. Like that. You see how my fingers are curled and against the blade? That's going to keep me from ever cutting my fingers because my fingers are tucked up under my hand. It's my knuckles that's resting on the blade. If you want to do it this way, one hand on top, keep your fingers out of the way. Yeah, I am going to need the rest of this onion. So we'll get this real quick. And then we're going to move over to the stove. And there you go, guys. Chopping an onion couldn't be easier, right? So, we're going to move this over to the stove, and I'm going to get the meat and the sauce going, and we'll go from there, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, I'm back. As you guys can see, I've turned the boil down, but there's my little topper. And you can see it will not boil over that way, which is awesome. So, I decided to go ahead and do all of the meat, you guys. So this is a full pound of sausage and a pound of hamburger, because I think what I'll do is freeze them and make lunches for myself for the weeks, you know, that I can pick up here and there and be ready to go. If I freeze them, I can pull them out of the freezer in the morning and just leave them out at the office. They'll be thawed by lunch. So I'm just going to get the meat broken up in here. Again, it's 1 pound of sausage, 1 pound of beef. You can absolutely do this straight beef or straight sausage if that's what you have. I've got friends that do it with turkey. I've got friends that do it with ground chicken, and they use a white sauce rather than a tomato sauce. There's no end to goulash, you guys. In goes the onion. Gonna get that going. And the garlic. I very seldom measure. This is just a teaspoon. Get that mixed in. I do have my burner up on high to start with. I want to get this a real good brown. And then I'm going to turn it down before I add all the sauces and what have you. We're going to get that in there. Now, to start this, guys, the only thing I'm going to put on this meat right now is just salt and pepper. And according to persons who shall remain remain unnamed but made comments earlier about a roast, this is probably where he would stop, but I'm not him. If I'm ever cooking for you, baby, I will stop right here for you, okay, honey? Y'all know who, or you know who you are. But if they're ever in your area and for some reason I end up cooking for you, I don't know how that's going to happen, but if it ever does, I will remember, okay? Don't know what the odds of that happening are, guys, but gotta give those disclaimers where you can get them, right? Alright. Stir this up. Perfect. Take this off, you guys. Give me just a second. I'm going to rinse it or drain these out and let them start cooling. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Okay. You guys can see this. This meat is kind of brown. It's still a little bit pink. It's still got, let me show you, a little of the pink in it. Can you guys see that? And that's okay because this sauce has to cook for about 15-20 minutes. So it will finish cooking in the sauce. The reason I do that, if you fully cook the meat first, and then you put it in sauce for another 15-20 minutes or long term, you're going to kind of overcook it and it's going to get kind of dry and spongy feeling, and I don't like that. So just get it to start to brown. You can drain the meat at this point. I don't. In this case, there's not a whole lot, so I'm not going to stress it. If there were a lot, yes, I would drain it. This is the paprika, the Hungarian paprika. I probably got, I don't know, teaspoon and a half maybe. If I were not using the forward, I would make it probably a tablespoon, but the forward already has some paprika in it. And it's probably about the same amount of forward that I really love. And the al pepo. And that's probably only half teaspoon, if that. A little bit of onion powder. A couple dashes of Worcestershire. Let me get that all mixed in. This is really simple. It doesn't get much easier than this, guys. But the flavor is really good, and I really enjoy it. And it makes me think of my grandfather, which, you know, my farfar was, gosh, you guys, he was the greatest man. He had stamp collections for me when I was a kid. I have stamps from, oh my gosh, forever. And unfortunately, I lost that collection in a house fire. But it was awesome when I had it. And he also collected $2 bills for my brothers and I. And when he passed in 87, I believe it was, these were left for him, and there was an envelope for each of us, and each of us had about $500 in $2 bills in that envelope that he'd been saving all of our lives. So, you know, those are memories. And I do not have those. I have half of them. I put several, let me rephrase that. I have all of them. I took half of them and put them in a safe deposit box. I took the other half and gave them to my nieces, or put them toward their college starts or whatever they want to do with them. So they don't have much either, you know, more than I do, but it's a little something for them just to tell them that I love them and I'm thinking about them. Alright, now that this is all in here, the corn will get added last because corn is already cooked, you guys. I'm going to throw a lid on here. I'm going to throw a lid on here. I'm going to turn this down to about medium. That's got to cook for about 20 minutes or so, and I will be back. Oh, wait, I forgot something. See, you're not alone, guys. You're not the only ones to forget stuff. I have just enough in here. Tomato sauce needs a little bit of a cut to it. In this case, it's not much. There's probably less than half a teaspoon left in this little bowl. Just enough to cut some of that acid. But Hungarian style goulash has a little more acid. It's not a sweet sauce at all. So, I will be back in about 20 minutes. We'll mix the pasta in and this will be ready to go. Short, quick, and easy. Bye. See y'all in a bit. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's been about 15 minutes or so. We're going to do a quick check on here. I believe we are good to go. Let me check it here. Very nice food. Okay. So, let me bring you a little closer because I don't want to pick up this boiling pan. But here is the sauce. Does that help? There it is. It's bubbling, it's boiling. So, I love that you guys don't care when I move you around. It's really cool. I have my pasta dried. It is a little ticky, which is what I want. It's right here in the pan. Corn. My burner is shut off. Let me get this corn in here and just mix it in. Because it's canned. You can use frozen if you have it. I just didn't have any on hand. I had canned, so that's what I'm using. You can use frozen, you can use fresh. If you're going to use fresh corn, then obviously you need to put it in here along with the sauce and all that because you need to cook the corn. So just keep that in mind. If you're using frozen corn, you're going to need to let it thaw just a little bit. It doesn't have to thaw all the way, but a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to cool your sauce down too much and you won't like the results you get. So, but the can, you just dump it. So now, I'm going to add the sauce to the pasta. And I'm going to set this in the sink because I don't want that all over my stove. I'm just going to mix this up. Mix it thoroughly. Make sure you get to the bottom and bring up all that pasta. You just want to make sure that you get all of the pasta coated with the sauce. There we go. And I have, let me show you what it looks like here. There we go. This is so good, you guys. It's one of my favorite recipes. So let me grab a little bowl and we'll taste some of this for you. It's pretty bad when you're so short you got to stand on tiptoes to get into your own cabinets, right? Well, I'm just going to get a little bit of this for my dinner. And that is more than enough for me. So as you can see, I have plenty to share and save. So let me tip you guys up a little bit more. Alright, now see me? I have a fork. So, here we are. This is my grandfather's Hungarian goulash. It is really simple to do. Goulash, listen to me, it's goulash. As you can see, it's bubbling. It's still really hot, and I'm probably going to burn my mouth, but oh well. It's smoky. It's a little bit spicy. It's not bad. And let me say about the spice, guys. If you don't like spicy food, you don't have to use the spicy peppers like I do. You know, you can use just a simple, the al pepo is not spicy at all. You can use plain black pepper. If you don't have al pepo, you could use a little bit of cayenne. You could put a dash of that in there. Pretty much any pepper you want. Or you can use no peppers at all if you don't like peppers. Don't worry about it, because that's the great thing with goulash. It's easy. You just put in what you want it to be. So I hope you guys will try this. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see y'all on the next time. Bye from Country Girl. Thanks for coming by my kitchen. Love ya.